going to show you guys how to start a brand new HVAC company.
And I'm going to show you what not to do.
And this is brought to you by Nuva Home Smart Thermostat, the thermostat that you could brand. And we balling out.
Oh yeah.
Are you freaking kidding me?
I pulled over to the side. I couldn't feel my hands after I failed the test the second time, and I legit had a panic attack.
It's a lot harder than I thought it was going to be.
All right, so what we have is a AC tune-up. We have my technician, Chris. All right. Yeah, I know. The way for us at Royalty to get our foot in the doors is, I mean, out here in Sacramento, it's a flooded market. There's a lot of HVAC competitions. There's a lot of competitors out here. So how do you gain control or market share? You got to put in, first off, the grind work. You know, I am a hustler, so I'm out there on foot, and the first month of June was knocking doors. It was putting door hangers on, talking about 5-can tune-ups. So what we did part of this process was we would go knock on a door. We would talk to them about what our 5-can tune-up represented as a whole, taking care of the community, putting food on the table, being different than our competitors, which is charging $79 for an AC tune-up, and then informing and educating them and providing the Royalty service, which again is different than everybody, because what we want to look at is, what does true white glove service look like? Man, you got a little nuts to start a company. There's 3 different things that I'm going to talk about, which is prepare, which you got to have the 5-year plan in mind. What's the end in mind? The overall goal. Number 2, the start. 3, grow. The first 5 years are the hardest years. It ain't easy, it's tough. All right, so rolling into prepare. You gotta prepare yourself by knowing your why, understanding your why. So when it comes to business, to growth, understanding your why here at Royalty, our why here is how we give back to the community. What type of statures you are in the community. How do you represent yourself within the community? Also, our why is, I'm traveling all the time. And my goal of why we started this company is to get my boots, my feet on the ground here locally, create something special here locally. And how we're gonna do that is understanding your vision, where you're going. Understanding that with visions, there's obstacles and challenges that you have to grow and overcome as well. And how do you overcome those obstacles? My vision for this company, as you guys can see in here, right? We have our mission statement: to bring Royalty service to your kingdom, no matter what it takes. So what does that mean? That means if I have a technician that's in the field or someone calls in late, we're going to give them the comfort that's needed. 24 hours, 7 days a week, 365 days. We have technicians that are there to serve you, to get you going, to give you the peace of mind. So you need to come up with something to be different than everybody else, to set yourself apart from your competitors. What's establishing you from being different in a 60-mile radius? You know, if you're gonna drive north, south, east, and west, how many people can do the same exact job that you do?
Harry the homeowner is the annoying customer. Harry the homeowner stands right over your shoulder.
How you doing? You know, I used to do HVAC back in the day myself.
Can you back up a little bit, please? Give
Sorry,
me some space.
I just don't do it now because my back hurts.
Why am I out here, huh? Why am I out here?
Well, I didn't have the right tools, but see, these things have a lot of compressor juice in them.
Compressor juice?
Compressor juice, yeah. I think it's low on compressor juice.
You mean refrigerant?
That's what they call it nowadays. That's the motor tire.
You know what that button does?
Yeah, that starts your O-ring up. You know?
Creating your 5 to 10 year goal. So at Royalty Heating and Air, as a business owner, my focus point isn't just your 6 months, not just your 1 year, not your 2 year, not your 3 year, but really your 5 year, maybe your exit. What is your strategy to get out? And one thing that I'm so young, right? I could do this again. I'm a big believer that starting an HVAC company is hard, but once you do it, you could do it again. Here at Royalty Heating and Air, my 1 year goal is to do 1.5 million. 2 year goal is to do 3 million. 3 year goal is to do 5 million. 4 year goal is to do 10 million. And then we're gonna sell with the acquisition at 20 million. What we're gonna do is we're going to be at 18% EBITDA, and my hopes is to sell between 12 to 15 multiple. So number 4 is very crucial because you gotta understand your 6 month, your 1 year, your 2 year objectives, okay? What are the objectives? What are you willing to do and sacrifice to get to the level of success that you want? This is the challenging point. As new business owners, right? A lot of people go into business, why? Because they think they're gonna get more free time. They're gonna be kicking their feet up and relaxing. Y'all, my mind doesn't stop. I'm telling you, from the time I wake up to the time I go to bed, my mind is going, and racing. I'm always trying to find new avenues of how to be better. So again, if you're going to business because you're trying to kick your feet up, you're going to business because you want more family time, it's less family time, it's harder, it's a big struggle, it's a grind. People look at my success and they're like, man, how did Jason do it so fast? How did he get here in the 3 months of doing over 300,000 in the last 3 months? It's crazy because it's not what it really looks like on social media, right? This stuff is hard. It is a grind. The social media is just a snap picture of what everything looks like. But as a business owner, the stress that you gotta intake.
On an accident, something fell on their TV and cracked the screen. So we gotta buy them a new 65-inch TV.
Are you freaking kidding me?
My shit happens, mistakes happen.
I'm gonna open my fortune cookie. Subscribe and hit the bell. You know, as HVAC masters of the hustle, I'm on the road. So as I've been building stuff, right, I'm trying to be in different states, trying to talk to my technicians on the phone, trying to diagnose and troubleshoot things over the phone, trying to deal with troubled clients over the phone in different states. And again, how do you take care of these people when you're thousands and thousands and thousands of miles away? You have to develop the right team. You have to develop the trust.
Hustle. I don't know if you had a lot of money when you started. So
No, I sold good, but I didn't have the reserves. I just knew it was time to do it.
tell me more about that.
I just thought it was going to be a podcast. Maybe I was going to do a couple podcasts, and then all of a sudden, someone reached out to me and they said that, hey, I've been following your content. Your stuff's really good. And all of a sudden, he asked if I ever thought about doing on-sites. And it was at that time where I just thought outside the box. I said, you know what, this might be something really special. So I ended up taking the time off of the work at the company that I was at and went and did an on-site. And when I came back, the gentleman that I talked to told me that I changed his life. He was a single father. It was a very touching story, what he was able to do in the short amount of time that I was able to train him. And when you sell HVAC systems, it's very rewarding when you're sitting in front of that elderly couple and they're telling you, you know, my system's not working, it's 100 degrees outside, it's 90 degrees in my house, and you can get them up and going, or you could have them involve them with a new system. But when I hung up that phone and that gentleman told me that I was changing his life and I was making an impact, it was a game changer. So leaving a job where I was selling $4.5 million, to take a leap of faith of doing something that I didn't even know what was gonna happen. It was a leap of faith, and it was the best thing that I could have done because that allowed me to be able to create something special where we're making an impact all across the nation, showing people what's possible, but then it's also helping me fund the money to create something possible here within my own neighborhood, within my own community. So if you're looking for a trainer, a coach, a mentor, someone to get in the team to show what the 4-minute mile looks like, well, check us out at www.hvacmastersofthehustle.com. Number 5, something I failed on massively because I didn't have a budget. I kept spending and spending and spending and spending. And you know what? I understand. Y'all could start a company, a one-man show at your house. But when you're developing the right company and you want the right growth plan, you have to understand that you got to spend. So something that I highly recommend is as a startup company is how do you look like a $50, $100 million company? You know, looking around here, everything is brand buy-in. So how do you smack your brand in front of that homeowner's face? How do you look like a multi-million-dollar company when you're a startup? You gotta spend money. You can't be scared to invest.
Whacker, you came in with money. Let's hear from some people that didn't have any money.
Well, let's see it.
What's up, guys? My name is Charlie. I'm the owner of Big Wave Heating and Air Conditioning. I've been in the industry for about 15 years. I actually went to a technical high school where I learned how to do heating and air conditioning. So I graduated and I've been doing it full time since I was 18 years old. Started off doing installs for about 5 years or so, then transitioned into service for another 5 years. And then the last 5 years before I started my company, I was just doing straight sales. So I kind of walked my way up the ladder of all the different aspects of our industry. And the only thing left was starting a business and running it on my own. Technically, April of 2022 is when I started the business, at least on paper. And what I was told by my other company owners and just people in the industry that have been mentors to me was when you're starting your company, it's best to get it turnkey, meaning get everything set up, get your license, get the LLC going, buy the truck, uniforms, your price book, get everything squared away. So when you quit the job you're working for, everything's ready to go. All you need to do is get the phone ring. So that's basically what I did. The first thing I did was I got my contractor's license, and in California you need a business license as well, so I got that. I registered my business as a LLC. Super easy to do. I just watched a YouTube video. I think it took 15 minutes to do, and 2 weeks later I got a paper in the mail from the Treasury saying that it's a legit company now. And yeah, so I basically quit the company that I was working for in March of 2024, so it hasn't been a full year yet since I've been in business. My idea was to keep the overhead as low as possible for as long as possible, meaning I didn't want to have bills or expenses to pay when I didn't have money coming in. So I did things like really buying the truck was the very last minute. I bought that probably a month before I quit the company and went to go work for myself. Other than that, I had a CRM that I signed up for. I used House Call Pro, fairly cheap. I think it was like $200 a month without all the little add-ons. The next thing I did was come up with the branding. So I had all these uniforms designed, the wrap for the vehicle, 8-10 months in now. It's going good. It's hard. It's a lot harder than I thought it was going to be.
Hi, I'm Paul with the Guy Heating and Air. Behind us is our work truck. We didn't always have this. We really started off with some simple beginnings back in 2017. I had to actually borrow $5,000 from my grandmother to get the company rolling. Believe it or not, this is our first vehicle. We didn't have the money to buy any type of van or anything else, so we had to start somewhere, and we started right here. And this is where we're at today, a Guy Heating and Air with Mitzi. Long gone are the days of bathroom remodels, kitchens, floorings, all that work that nobody wants to do, but we did it because we needed to get that money to build up our company. We have the clientele base now to focus strictly on HVAC, which was the main goal. Sure, our process was slow, but we wanted to make sure that we didn't run into any issues and we continue to grow. And now we have. So the first thing you need to do when you create a business is create a name. And it needs to be unique. It can't be something that's very boring. No offense, but your last name probably isn't gonna cut it. You want something that people are gonna remember. And for us, it was a Guy, because everyone recommends a Guy. If you don't have any ideas, get this book, Branded Not Blanded. For a couple of bucks, it's worth the investment. And you know what? This is the end result. Dan Antonelli with KickCharge really went a long way in helping us grow. We went ahead, we created a name, we have registration with the state. What do we do next? Well, we create a business account. We want to make sure that the funds that we collect from our customers go into that account. Keep it separate from your personal. Make sure that you reinvest. it can be tempting to take all that money out. But if you reinvest in your company, I promise you, you'll reap the rewards later. Hope this helps you.
Some things that I would change, that I would do differently. I didn't save a bunch of money. It was kind of a last minute thing that I decided to do. The company I worked for got bought by a private equity company, and I only stuck around for 6 months. I just wasn't a good fit for that type of environment. I was toying with the idea of starting my own company, but I didn't save a bunch of money. So I just quit, bought a truck. I didn't even take out a loan or anything. I just used what little money I did have saved up. If I could do it again, I probably would have stuck with that company a little bit longer, saved a little bit more money, and then taken out a loan. I wanted to have as little debt as possible, but I quickly ran into money issues where things add up pretty quickly between getting the wrap design, buying the van, all the branding, and then marketing. Marketing was something I didn't spend a bunch of money on up front. I was fortunate where I had quite a bit of word of mouth that kept me decently busy, but definitely not enough to turn profits from day one. So if I could go back and do it again, I'd probably take out a loan and start the marketing probably 30 days before I quit my company, because it takes a little time for that stuff to start gaining traction. Other than that, I'm definitely learning as I go. My strengths are service, sales, and installs. Really, I'm doing everything within the company right now. So I'm not really in the operational position yet. I'm getting ready to hire my first full-time employee here in the next couple weeks. But yeah, that's kind of my story, and we'll see where I am next year and in the years to come. But got big plans, high aspirations, and yeah, thanks for Hook Agency for giving me a bunch of just free information. And anytime you reach out to him, Tim's been great about sharing information. And I know at some point when I'm at a place where investing in his company makes sense for me, I think I'm going to do it. So thanks, guys, and good luck with you and your businesses.
Cheeto, you know what I talk about?
What's that?
Working smarter, not harder.
My motto has always been, if you ain't good at something, you don't have to be good at it at all.
Thank you everyone for coming to Cheeto's graduation of becoming a white shirt. Woo, baby! I am super excited. Go ahead and sit down, Cheeto. Sit down, sit down, sit down. We are going to talk about what it takes to be a white shirt.
Oh, wait a minute.
Whoa.
I'm the one who knows what it takes to be a white shirt. Sit down, baby. Uno, sales. Sale. 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 Number 2, if it can be repaired, you sell them a new one. Best one of them all. Number 3, white shirt.
Step 2, the hangers. You gotta have the nuts. Get registered and licensed. Well, before you get registered and licensed, what you gotta do is you gotta talk to the lawyers. No one likes to talk to the lawyers, but you gotta make sure that you are set up for success. In the state of California, one thing you have to do is you have to get registered and you have to get licensed. So California, what you have to do, I'm talking about, this is the most stressful test I've ever had to take in my life. When you walk in the building, they literally frisk you. You gotta take everything outside your pockets. They take a picture of your ID, you put things away in your locker. If you take a bathroom break over 3 minutes, they fail you on your test and they say that you were cheating. You're in this room and you feel like you're confined because they have all these rules and regulations, and you're sitting there and you can't use any notes. And for someone that comes from the HVAC side of 15 years, this is one of the hardest tests, and thinking that someone would, like my skill level, would be able to pass this test on their first try. I passed the business side my first try. I failed the HVAC side. Crazy. Not only did I fail the HVAC side first time, but I failed it the second time. I pulled over to the side. I couldn't feel my hands after I failed the test the second time. And I came home and I legit had a panic attack. Item number 2. So something that's important is to ensure the funding sources. HVAC Masters of the Hustle has done so well. It's really been feeding the income So I've already had the money to be able to create. And again, I said I spend. But I'm telling y'all, it is very important to get lines of credit for you out there that don't have the income, that doesn't have the financials in the bank account, to understand using also the supply houses, getting credit lines through the supply houses, and not overusing your credit lines, not abusing them, because just like credit cards, people abuse credit cards, they abuse credit lines the same way. Y'all can utilize credit lines to benefit you and your company to really skyrocket what's going out there. Being a new company, I was able to go to Ferguson and we did get a credit line, and we use that credit line because what it does, it's called free up your cash flow. And that's something that's very important, is to keep the reserves in the bank just in case you need something else that's important. Number 3 is get a really good name. Understand what your name is and the value of the name. To find Royalty Heating and Air the correct name, I sat there and I asked myself, what is it that our companies are missing? What's the chink in the chain that it really separates the elite from the elite? When you create names, right? One thing I do is I keep my notes in my phone. And so anytime I have a good thought or a good idea, or even when I wake up in the middle of the night and I have a good idea or a thought, I jot it down, because if you don't jot it down, there's so many things that happen you forget. And it hit me one day. I was sitting there and I was like, what's a good name? What's a good name? What's a good name? What's a good name? And I went through a different couple names and it just wasn't the right fit. And then I said, Royalty Heating and Air. People need a white glove service.
I can't do my job in service too. That's right. All right, call somebody else. Bye-bye. It feels good to be a white shirt.
Don't skimp on your branding. What I talk about branding is making sure that when someone walks in your office, it's a slap in the face. So everybody loves Cake Charts. Danny Antonelli is the guy when it comes to branding. So I went to Dan, he said he was 4 months out. And then I went to Kongify, Mr. Robert Kiefer, and we were able to sit down, and Kiefer really took everything that he had and put it on hold for me. And we were able to sit down and develop Royalty, the logo, the website, everything, the truck wraps, the uniform design, everything all within a week. But it was a lot of, being on Zoom meetings, hiring the right vendors, making sure that you correspond the right team, because what happens is vendors are important, right? They give us our stock. They replenish our trucks. When we sell a system, they make sure that we could get that system, or when we have a repair, they make sure that we can get those motors. When it comes to financing the systems, aligning yourself with the right people is very important, but not just aligning yourself with the right people, but understanding the true customer service value of when you truly need help as a business owner, are they truly going to help you? As a business owner, you always try to align yourself with the right people, and vendors are big ones. And, as a new business, a new startup, some vendors don't look at you as so serious, right? They look at you and they laugh, they chuckle. And I feel like the smaller businesses, as you're starting up, you got to make sure that when you're talking financing, a lot of people are scared to finance or get in debt within a business. Businesses aren't cheap. Businesses are expensive. When we talk about overhead, you got building expenses, you got truck expenses, you got fuel, you got uniforms. There's just so many different avenues of things that really making sure that you line up with the right people that are going to support you, support your team when it's really needed. And then talking about the coaches.
when it comes to being able to coach my team, not everyone wants to hear the same person speak every single time. And I think this is something that's important, of understanding that you might know everything, but sometimes you got to hire coaches to bring in a little different spice. And one thing that we're doing is we're bringing in Weldon Long, we're bringing in Uncle Joe Crisera, just to bring a little bit of different flair. And that's really important, of not being stagnant, bringing in different people and understanding the different transitions of different coaches, different mentors, and what they're offering, and then also what makes each person different. Because I might say something that resonates with someone, but then it doesn't resonate with someone else. And then there's another coach that comes in that says the same thing, but it's a little bit different, and then more of the team resonates with that. So it's really aligning yourself with the right people, but not just picking one coach. Understanding that there's multiple different coaches that could help you all get to the next level.
Folks, Buckhorn.
Community, because the chamber really prides itself about being part of the community.
Royalty Heat and Air was just a vision about 4 months ago. And so all this came to life because unfortunately when situations happen, my wife and I, we experienced the passing of our daughter. And so as a national trainer for the trades of HVAC, I'm on the road 150 days. So it was very important for me to create something special, to create a big impact within the community, but also to figure out a way to also create something special to stay home. Don't let fears dictate where you're going in life, because that's where I think growth stops, is people let that fear stop them what they're doing. And when there's challenging times in life, obstacles, hurdles, go through those challenging times. Life's gonna happen, and when life happens, lean on the people that you love. We look around right now, and this is a community right here of people coming together to help everybody out.
How do you think Jason's doing here?
Amazing! This is the boss.
One thing that you don't think about when you're owning a business is some of the closest people, people that you thought were in your corner might write you off. Not only just write you off, but cut you out of the picture. Think that you're competition, competing against them, when really all you're trying to do is create something better for you and your family.
Right.
And when somebody's as smooth as him, you wonder how they
I know.
get by with themselves every day.
9 p.m. right now. We're still out here grinding, hustling, sacrificing, being away from our families, our loved ones. When I started this, we thought we were gonna have more family time. We thought we were going to be able to go on more vacations, but it's not like that. It's stressful.
He makes it look easy, but underneath all that, there's hard work and dedication and time, so it looks easy when it's a professional doing it.
When you hire people on as a company too, you're taking on families. You're taking on multiple families. And as a business owner, as a provider, how are you gonna provide to put food on their tables? And this is things that are always eating me up as a business owner, because typically you only have one family, and I got multiple families depending on me. And I think that's probably the most stressful thing, is people really relying on you as a business owner and just showing up every single day.
3, growth, something that's very important. As a company, understanding your pricing, understanding your numbers, making sure that you understand the growth plan. But at the end of the day, how much money are you bringing home? How much money is your company growing? We're looking at EBITDA. We're trying to keep the EBITDA, or gross profit, net profit, within 18 to 20%. So you got to understand your numbers. How do you get that? You got to go to your manufacturers, you got to go to your suppliers, and you got to understand what your pricing is in your market.
Oh yeah, it looks shiny. Shiny and gold. That's a $600 part right here, baby. Oh yeah.
You're trying to charge me what for capacitor, you were saying? I got it right here online, Amazon. So 18.
You've never seen one like this. Gold.
So let me ask you, what makes that one better than this one?
A lot better than that crap you're getting on Amazon. You know what? I'm taking my gold capacitor elsewhere.
Well, I need the capacitor.
Get out of here.
I need the
This ain't the Lord of the
capacitor.
Rings, man.
You don't go against your competition. I heard this so many times as a business owner is, hey, how do you get your pricing? And they go, hey, usually I'm the second guy in here. I look at their estimate and I just drop it a couple $1,000s. I say, well, how much did you make off of it? I don't know. Well, y'all got to understand what your numbers are, what your growth pattern is. Number 2, 5 ways to acquire customers.
It's the annoying customer. Harry the homeowner stands right over your shoulder.
Jason, my boy, I got you a little refreshing beverage here.
Yeah, it's warm.
Drink up, my boy. You're a good man. Yeah. How is it?
It's good. Can you move back? What is that?
It's not what you think. It's my colostomy bag. Sorry.
Okay, can you scoot back, please?
At the beginning, at the start, it is all balls to the wall. When I talk about that, I'm talking about hitting the pavement. What we've done is we've done door hangers, 5-can tune-ups, anything to get yourself in front of the community. What I'm doing to get customers is talking to people, going to different events, getting in front of the community, going to, we have a hot rod event that's going to be here the next couple of days. We're door knocking, something that is extremely hard to do when you knock 100 doors, you maybe talk to 1 or 2 people. So talk about being depleted, right? By hearing no's over and over and over and over and over. How do you keep that right mindset? What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and kick this to Mr. Tim Brown, and he's gonna talk about 5 ways to acquire clients and the differences between the good and the bad agencies.
We got that B-roll.
All right, main thing is you want to have 5 ways to get new customers, right? You don't want to be overly dependent on one. I see people they're like Yelp or Angie or something like that, and they're buying leads. They're overly dependent on one thing. You want to have a bunch of different ways to get business. For instance, you could have hardcore referral systems. Another example would be local Facebook groups, because you can be referring all the other people. You can be referring the realtor, the pest control company, the other people that are in the home. You refer them and tag the person that you're referring. That's how you're getting more referrals. And you ask your customers. Number 3, social media and video. A lot of people just aren't tapping their existing social networks enough. They're not telling people, hey, guess what? I'm doing HVAC now. I've got a business. Ask the people online to refer you. Don't just keep putting your number and your website out there and hoping people that are gonna come in. Facebook ads, Google ads, SEO. We do Google ads and SEO, search marketing, only for home service businesses. And ultimately, those are really good because you want to be there when people are searching. You want to be there when somebody's typing what you do into Google and into other search engines. So really, really important, but you need to have 5 different ways. You don't just want to be overly dependent on one. You need to track where your leads are coming from. Whether you use a CRM or whatever you're doing, you need to know where leads are coming from and then double down on what's worked. And I would say even 10x what's worked, right? Take complete responsibility. I'm about to talk about good and bad agencies really briefly, but don't defer. Don't think any vendor is gonna solve this problem for you. No one cares as much about your business as you do. So as much as I'm an agency and I would love to help you, hookagency.com, hook better leads with a Google specialized team that cares. There is personal responsibility on all this. No vendor is gonna fix this for you. Take complete responsibility. Get really into Google Maps. Get really into getting reviews, get really into getting your current customers to refer.
I didn't even install this unit, but I always want to make sure I put my sticker on it. Yep, I got my stickers all over this bad boy. My brand, my unit now.
Cheeto, what'd you do to the unit?
Man, My brand is stamped all over this thing. It's the perfect way to advertise.
They don't look at the unit. There's a better way.
There is.
The Nuva way. Come check it
Show
out.
me.
So this is what I'm talking about. This is the Nuva thermostat. So look at these functions. Go ahead and click that. It's your brand. It calls the office. Not only that,
Impress me. Wow, that's pretty impressive.
check out the disco backlight.
Oh yeah, it's a party with your thermostat.
All right, differences between good and bad agencies. A good agency will let you own your website. A bad agency, you don't own your website, but they won't tell you that on the front end. They'll just be like, oh, by the way, you're canceling now. Your website's gone, your content's gone. Everything we built's gone because you didn't own it. Ask, do I own this website? They might even lie to you. Look at the fine print, I'm serious. Agencies are weird. 2, transparency. You want an agency that tells you everything that they got completed each month, okay? You don't wanna just be buying a black box. A lot of great agencies out there, but just vet them. Vet them, look at the reviews, look at case studies. Hook, for instance, has over 140 5-star reviews, and that's huge for an agency. Bad agencies often have overly aggressive sales. Yes, sometimes good agencies cost more. Unfortunately, bad agencies are often too cheap for customer service, and this draws in a lot of new companies. Bad agencies don't show you the work that they completed, and they talk to you about traffic and impressions, not leads. We need leads and phone calls. So that's ultimately what it's measured by. The best ones are niched. Yes, people that know your industry. They're not learning everything on your account. The context is what it is like, you don't want to have to share every last bit of context about what you do. So having a niche agency, you don't have to do that. Do they work with a company like yours, and do they have good examples of customers like yours that they've gotten great results for? Last thing with a bad agency, no accountability. Hey, you call them up. Hey, what's been done? Oh, we'll get on that. No, what's been done? I'm paying you every month, so what's been done? That's the difference between a good and bad agency. A good agency will take accountability for themselves. They'll set up calls with you each month, show you what was completed. A lot of times they have live dashboards. A lot of times they have a Google Drive folder showing you everything that they got completed that month. So you have complete accountability with your agency. That's what Hook Agency does, and a lot of other great agencies out there.
As a company, one of the smartest things to do is, how do you recruit? How are you gonna recruit the people to fulfill what you wanna achieve within your company? The smartest thing is find out the local trade schools. Go in there, talk to them, rent out time where you can talk in front of the class, the students, and even open up an hour after where they'll open interviews. And very important, there's a lot of different technical schools out there that are within a 20-mile radius that y'all could talk to that will allow you to get into the trenches with their people. Hire quick, fire faster. Man, as a business owner, one of the scariest things is growth, bringing on people. Making sure that you deliver the small promises to yourself, making sure that you deliver the small promises to your customers and the small promises to your clients. I promise, if you deliver on those 3 things, sky's the limit.
Jason takes care of you more than just monetarily, right? He's got higher wages than anybody in the area. But aside from that, he cares about you. He'll talk to you, he'll sit down, ask how you're doing. He'll throw little surprises your way. One weekend I went out and told him I was going to dinner with my wife, and he asked me for my Venmo and shot me some money to pay for dinner. Didn't have to do that. Boots, I'm wearing new boots because of him.
What kind of boots are these?
Brunts.
Brunts.
So
like Brunts?
Comfortable, yep. They feel like tennis shoes. They come up on the 6-inch high. They come up higher than that as well. They got multiple different styles. But what I like most about them is that they're breathable. My feet don't sweat too bad.
Making clear processes and positions. When you hire people, right, they need to understand the roles of what they're doing. They need to understand also, if they're not fulfilling the roles, what is the penalty and what's gonna happen. People like to understand that there is standards at companies. Too many times, companies don't have standards. Start with high standards and you'll get high quality people, I promise. Go into the next thing, which is training and accountability. When you're at a company, one thing that you need to do is you have to hold your people accountable. You have to give them goals, and you have to give them goals that are obtainable. You have to keep their goals in front of them. One thing that we do here at Royalty Heat and Air is we're on Data Cube. Data Cube is something that's important because just like professional athletes, it keeps all their records of your technicians, your sales professionals, your installers, your dispatchers. So making sure that you understand the accountability and the training of each individual's roles. Also, retaining and keeping your people happy. This is something that I believe is really important because if you keep your people happy, what are they gonna do? They're gonna keep your clients even happier.
Ah! Gosh, I hate you. Oh, hate everything about. You plotting on me? What? 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 That's what I thought. Wow. Come with me. No more scaring me. Oh, I still love you. Ah.
If y'all are crazy and nuts as myself, to start an HVAC company, go get it, go implement, make sure you take action. No excuses, don't let fear stop you. So if y'all wanna be crazy, you wanna be nuts, like myself and Cheeto, I'm telling y'all, big shout out to Nuva Smart Home Thermostat. Make yourself different, be different. What do you think?
I'm different. Man, Jason's gonna kill me if I don't get this thing put together.
Cheeto, what is the mannequin doing to you? You're supposed to be a white shirt, bro.
Customer broke it. I had nothing to do with this.
Cheeto, sit down.
Don't be scared of the power. All right, look, do it right. Toe screws. I don't want, I want all the screws put back in. I can't stand coming out here and no screw is and you're missing. Let me see. You're getting on my nerves. Look at that. You don't want to strip it out. Give me the thing. You over tighten and strips out. No good. See? A lot of people, they get on there and go. So it rattles, you don't do that. Make sure you pick up the trash out of the yard too, punk.
Who?
Yeah, how about you get your stuff and get out of here? Huh? You want to smart off to me, kid? Coward. Come around and look at me. But listen here. Don't do it again. You hear me? Next time, when you come to my house, you respect me. Hey, look at me.
Harry, our office will give you a call.
Hey, you send me a bill, I'm gonna f you up.